Hello and welcome to another Shop My Stash makeup basket video. I have a whole playlist if you are interested in this series. I usually do this about every other week. In the first half of the video, I will be recapping the products I had in my last Shop My Stash. Also, this time is a little different because I'm going to mention a few other items because I was actually out of town for the last 2.5 weeks. I was at an Indian wedding, which is why I have this on my hands. And therefore, I thought I would just kind of show you some other items I brought because I didn't bring that much makeup with me because I get really scared to travel with my makeup because I don't want to break it. But anyway, that will be the first half of the video. And then the second half, I will be picking out new items and let's get into it. With the 4 items that were officially in my Shop My Stash, and then I'll mention some of the other products I brought. For bronzer, I brought this MAC one. This is Biana Bronze. This was a limited edition collection, I think like Tutti Frutti or something like that. This is a few years old and I do like it. It's a good bronzer. It's pretty standard. It's nothing revolutionary or groundbreaking. And I have decided that this is something I may put in a project pan soon. You can kind of see rings there. I don't know. I've used this a decent amount. Like I said, I like it. It's not amazing. Therefore, you may see this in a project pan at some point. For a blush, I brought the Essence Satin Blush in Satin Love. And I really like this. Really nice, peachy rosy, pretty neutral shade. Has some pink in it as well. And actually one day while I was gone, I was so bored of the eyeshadow palette that I brought. I did an entire look with this and it's a gorgeous color. And the lid broke off while I was traveling. Like I said, I hate bringing my makeup traveling because I'm always scared it's gonna break. I didn't drop it or anything, but just one day I took it out of my makeup bag and this popped off. However, a lot of people I've seen on Instagram and YouTube that have this blush, the top broke off. It's only $3, so it's not that big of a deal, but I don't love having broken makeup. However, this is such a gorgeous blendable blush, and I feel like this color goes with every look, and I really enjoyed using it. For a highlighter, I brought the Milani Strobe Light Highlighter. This is super frosty and beautiful. Here's a swatch. It has a pink undertone in it, but it's not super pink. This is something initially when I bought, I did not love it, but the more I've used it, it is so gorgeous. I will say it is one highlighter where you have to like really, I'm not wearing it today, but you have to like really blend it in to get it to look nice. I think if you don't blend it in enough, it can look a bit stripy and weird, but it is so gorgeous and intense. And I absolutely loved this. This is something that the more and more I use it, the more and more I love it. And for an eyeshadow palette, I brought the Tarte Toasted palette. And I said that I got bored of it, and that was only because it is such a warm tone palette. I really missed having colorful eyeshadows. I really missed pink eyeshadow. Like I said, I don't like to travel with a lot of makeup, but I did a ton of looks with this. Let me just show you a few. And some days I just kind of popped this one and this one in the crease and called it a day because I was kind of in a hurry, but I used all 3 of these metallics. I love this shade here. This shade, I did a look with this one and this one in the crease. It's a beautiful palette and I really enjoyed it, but it is so warm. It's kind of a one-trick pony in that way. And I really missed having pink eyeshadows. Did this purple look today because I was just craving doing something more colorful, but this is a gorgeous warm tone palette and I was really impressed with using it. I really liked it. These metallic shades are so intense and nice. This one is a bit more chunky and has more fallout. It's not as good of a formula as these 3 are, but the matte shades blend so easily. And yeah, this is something I hadn't used a whole lot before this trip, but I really enjoyed using it. The foundation that I brought was this one from AOA Studio. And wow, I am so impressed with this. I already knew I liked it. I have the color Fair Ivory. This matches me so well. It has yellow undertones. This is a good medium coverage. And like I said, I went to a wedding, so I wanted to have, you know, a good foundation. This lasts so well. I was shocked. There was a day where I wore it all day, took a nap, got up and needed to like redo my makeup and I just really didn't want to. And I just barely touched this up with some concealer and it still looked good. I could not believe it. This is only 0.64 fluid ounces, but this is only $1. I'm wow. I have put this in a project pan, but I would definitely repurchase it. The only thing I don't love is this dropper. The dropper honestly doesn't work well. Usually I just kind of take this out and smear whatever on the edges on my face because the dropper is not super effective, but honestly, that's really not a big deal. This is fantastic. The concealer I brought is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover. I've talked about this a lot. This is one of the best concealers I've ever used. This is also in a project pan. I do want to use it up, but there's a lot left in here. It's going to last me a while, which I have no problem with. It's fantastic. And last up are the lip colors that I brought. And these two are in a project pan, which is why I brought them. And I just brought neutrals because I didn't think I was going to wear anything colorful. And honestly, I was fine with these products. I actually did not get bored of my lip color. I don't change up my lip colors a whole lot. I brought the Morphe liquid lipstick in Virgin, which is just a nude. And then I brought the Morphe gloss in Boho, which is kind of pinky. And then if I wanted a more peach look, I brought Charlotte Tilbury Bitch Perfect. This, I don't like it on its own. I've mentioned it's super dry formula, but when I wore this, I just put the Morphe lip gloss on top. And honestly, this was just like a peachy pink neutral look. Really nothing revolutionary. But I liked them. That is it for the recap slash what was in my travel bag, and let's get into picking some new products. Starting in the blush drawer here, and I do want to pick out a blush even though I still have two blushes in project pans. Seeing this Burt's Bees one makes me realize I don't think I've used this in several months. It is a gorgeous bronzy, pretty orange type color. I think I'll go with this. Here is the highlighter drawer, and I do want to pick out a highlighter. I'm kind of trying to look and see what I have not used in a while. And what's sticking out to me is actually that Urban Decay highlighter. This is the color Sin, and I really like this. It's a pretty standard champagne type color. It's really nice and finely milled, and it's been a while since I've used this. I do have a bronzer in a project pan, but I do think I want to pick one out. I really like this one. It's from the Dollar Tree, and it's really good, actually. I think I'm gonna go with Morphe Icon. I really like this one. And I looked on their website. It is still available there. It used to be at Ulta, which is where I bought it, and it's not there anymore. I think it's limited edition, but this is very similar to this Marc Jacobs one. I did mention that in a dupes video, and I've heard other people say the same thing. I'm gonna go with this. For eyeshadow palettes, I want to use this. This is the ColourPop So Jaded palette. I mentioned this in a haul video that I got this with a gift card, and I am in love with this palette. I've used it a couple of times, and this is the one I want to pick. I feel like I could do so many looks with this, neutral, colorful, and so much more. Alrighty, that is it for this Shop My Stash video. If you're interested, I do have a whole Shop My Stash playlist, and thank you for watching.